Okay. One more thing, because I forgot this thing that goes along with deducing. So we're just going to do a solve real quick. The thing about deducing is it tells you where the edge or the corner is, but it doesn't tell you the orientation. So what you do is you deduce where the piece is, and then the moment you see the actual piece, then you know the orientation, and then that follows the steps of either EO, or you know the solution right like that of what the pair is and what the solution is to get it into the slot. So here we're just going to do some more solves. I'm bad, sorry. Okay, so here, right off the bat, I see this, and then but let's just see what else we have. So we have this and this in the front slot, and then we have this corner, the blue, orange, and white. And then if you look, can't see it in the front slots. It's not in the U layer, so it must be in the back. Luckily, we have some other things to solve first, and hopefully during one of these other solves, we'll be able to see where that piece is. So here, I'm going to follow EO. Here's one of those cases where this is just a 3 mover. For this, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to use an F move. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate, which is what I advise to. But also, when you rotate to insert this here, you rotate and insert and you put it into the back left, which is the best case because now you don't have to worry about that. So let's see what else we have. So it gives us another free pair. And look, good edge, free pair. You can solve this 2-gen right there. And we were looking for this edge, remember? And look, it wasn't in the front slots. It was somewhere in the back. And we did our last rotation and we found out it's not here and it's not in the U layer. So it must be in this back corner. And just because this is what I see first, I'm going to look for this edge. Now, you could try at this point, honestly, you can kind of peek because like when you look at the cube, you're not always looking at it from just this orientation. You're kind of looking at it from this orientation around this corner. So like from this, I can look at this and I can see, oh, orange here. So I know I'm going to rotate, I'm going to bring that up and I can make this free pair or like do let me see. I just want to show you I can bring up the edge and show you this is the edge. You know what I mean? Oh, there we go. So I know that I can pull it up and do that. This is another case where like you could oh my, come on, dog. You could do that. I don't like doing that. And plus we have if you solve it like this, your last slot is back right, where if you just rotate, now you have you're solving front left, and then you have this as your last slot. Your front right is the last slot. But here, if we go back to this, let's see what else we have in the U layer and what else we can see. And we see this case, and we notice this is a bad edge, so we know we're going to have to rotate for this anyway. So it turns out that instead of like hedging this in and solving it like that rotationless, you can use a rotation to your advantage where you rotate to do the better insert, which is that. At the same time, you just oriented this edge and now you can solve it 2-gen. But the whole point in this video is saying, yo, skip. But the whole point being is that if you have an edge in the back left slot, and here, look, this edge for this corner, not in the U layer, not here. So this is when you can rotate. And if you rotate here, if it's in the back left, you know it's there. The same way where if you rotate this way and it's not here, you know it's there. That's deducing. So like for this case, you would rotate and you go, oh, here it is. But here, look at this. So this is where you would think about last slot stuff. You could just do this and it brings this up. Or you can insert this edge like that. And you just oriented this edge, free pair. Does that make sense? But that's the whole point of this video is deducing isn't to tell you the solution. It's to give you the hint, or honestly, not even a hint. It's to tell you where the pieces are. And then the moment you see them, you can tell the orientation. And then you know the solution like that. And you should know the solution of the pair. And you need to know the solution of where it goes into each slot. Because like, you saw me earlier where like, oh, let me see. I can't remember. I think it was, let me see. Okay, this. So for this is a free pair. I know I could bring it up and just bring it into the U layer, but I know this is going to the back left. I happen to know an alg for that, like that. Does that make sense? And for each one of these slots, so here's it. Oh, let me see. Here's another one where here's a solution where I know how to solve this case, but you need to know where it's going to, because that determines what you do for the continuation and the rest of your solve, because this is going to the back left. So do you do this to solve the front left slot, or are you mid solve and you turn this way to solve it that way and solve it into the back right? Does that make sense? And it's all these little decisions that you make that affect the continuation of your solve. But just imagine, if you're solving your first or your second pair and you can influence the EO of your third or fourth pair, that gives you a better continuation, and that should be your goal for F2L. And that's how that works. But that should be the whole idea of deducing. But again, let me know if you have any questions.